The rain began early that morning. At 7 a.m., Noi Bai International Airport was cloaked in mist, its runways slick and glistening. For many, it was just another stormy day in Vietnam's late season. But for one family, the rainfall carried a promise, the kind that soaks into the heart and makes every step homeward heavier with anticipation. Inside a quiet home, a small child sat patiently as her caretaker fussed about, ensuring she was comfortable. "Sit here, my dear. Stay put, all right?" the older woman instructed gently. "Yes, ma'am," the child replied obediently. The rain had changed their plans. Work would wait. Instead, there would be warm rice at noon, vegetables fresh from the garden, and the simple rhythm of a day spent indoors together. A morning of ordinary tenderness. By mid-morning, the house was alive with domestic sounds, the clatter of bowls, the hiss of rain against the roof, and the laughter of a child. "Would you like some water?" the caretaker asked. "Yes, please." She poured it out carefully, then added, "I'll go down to the garden to pick vegetables." "You stay here, be good." "All right," came the soft reply. Down among the vines, she gathered pumpkin greens, their leaves wet and heavy. She returned with a smile. "Look, pumpkin shoots. We'll eat them later." The child's eyes lit up. "Can I have melon too?" "Yes, of course," she said, washing the small fruit before handing it over. "Eat slowly, little one. Take small bites so you won't choke." It was an ordinary scene, but one steeped in quiet love. Even as floodwaters threatened outside, the woman ensured the child's world was one of safety and care. Lunch in the rain. By noon, the kitchen was rich with the aroma of simmering broth and sautéed greens. "Are you hungry yet?" she asked. "Yes, very. Just wait a little longer," she chuckled, stirring the pot. "The meat needs more time." The child leaned closer, inhaling. "It smells delicious." Finally, the meal was ready. She set the bowls down, tore meat into small pieces, and carefully cooled them before offering them across the table. "Here you are. Eat slowly. Don't burn yourself." The child took the chopsticks with both hands. "Thank you, ma'am. The rice is so good." Her caretaker smiled, deeply content in that small affirmation. Across the distance, elsewhere, the phone rang. "Diep? It's me," James's voice crackled through. Her heart lifted, but his words tempered the joy. "I might need a few more days. The paperwork here is slow, and business keeps me tied up." Disappointment flickered in her chest, though she tried not to show it. "I understand." "Take care of yourself." But James had a secret. He was already back in Vietnam. He had landed that very morning. And rather than reveal the truth, he crafted a plan to surprise her, to walk through the door with gifts in hand and love written across his tired face. The quiet errands of love. Rain pounded against the windshield as James drove slowly, speed restricted by the wet roads. He spotted a clothing shop and pulled in. "Hello," the shopkeeper greeted. "I'd like to buy clothes for a little girl." About 3 years old, the woman guided him to a rack. "For a girl that age, these should fit." "This set is lovely, white, though it might stain easily. Or perhaps this yellow one?" He studied the pieces, imagining them on the small child he had yet to properly meet. "I'll take this one. And that one, too. Could you wrap them, please?" He added a small hat, dark-colored to be practical. The total was 470,000 dong. He paid with quiet satisfaction, knowing the gifts were more than fabric, they were his way of weaving himself into the child's life. Still restless, he stopped at a flower stall. "How much for this bouquet?" 300,000, the vendor replied. He handed over the bills, cradling the fresh blossoms like a promise. Rain dripped from the petals, as though the skies themselves were blessing his return. Reflections on words and wounds. On his drive back, James's thoughts drifted to the fragility of human bonds. He remembered how words, careless, sharp, unkind, could wound far deeper than silence. Once spoken, they lingered. He thought of old friends. Bao An, quiet and introverted, and Min Ku, outspoken to the point of cruelty. Their contrasting natures had often clashed. Time had changed little. Min Ku, now married with children, still wielded her tongue like a blade. James promised himself he would not be like that. If love meant anything, it had to be careful, gentle, spoken with respect. The homecoming. Evening fell, and with it came the moment James had longed for. He walked into the small home, gifts and flowers in hand. Deep, his voice trembled. She turned, eyes widening. "James? You're home? But you said..." "I wanted to surprise you," he whispered, stepping forward. "I came back this morning." "I couldn't wait another day." Her eyes glistened as she embraced him. "I missed you so much." For the child, there was wonder and delight. "What's this?" she asked, reaching for the wrapped packages. "A hat for you. And clothes. See, this one's for tomorrow, this one for another day." Her laughter filled the room. "They're so pretty." "Thank you." James knelt, helping her fold the gifts neatly. "Do you like them?" "Yes. Very much." And just like that, the walls that distance had built crumbled in the warmth of shared rice, new clothes, and the rain still whispering outside. Love in the Rain. That night, as thunder rolled faintly in the distance, James, Diep, and the child sat close together, their small home aglow with lamplight. The rain no longer felt heavy. It was simply the soundtrack to a reunion, proof that love, when patient and true, could travel 1,000 kilometers and still arrive whole.